been giving me a bit of issue.
Certainly, I'll shout out.
Okay, the continuing story of Apollo by postal history, this time Apollo 15. As it follows on the excellent presentation that Randy did a couple of months back. So this is Apollo 15 by postal history, which is mailed covers, essentially, for those that aren't familiar with postal history items. Now, what's changed here, and you'll notice this on a number of the covers I'm showing, is that the cachet makers, i.e. the people who make the graphics on the cover, combined a lot of events on a single cover rather than having one cover for each event that occurred. So I mean, here we have the launch, the landing, and the splashdown. Now, this particular cover is celebrating the launch on July 26, 1971, but it also has a cancel on July 30th, which is when the lander landed on the moon, the LEM. Now here's a nice, a lot of these covers now come with really nice inserts that explain what's going on. So this is the insert in the launch cover. It shows the launch, the first orbit around the Earth, and then the translunar injection, and then the docking with the lunar lander as it continues to the moon. Now this is another launch cover. It's dated to 26 again, but it shows the spaceship during the separation from the S2 stage to the S4 stage, and so this would occur in Earth orbit. But again, it's celebrating the launch of Apollo 15. Now this is a good insert in this cover. Again, it shows the launch. It actually has the precise time, so this insert was prepared after launch. And it shows the orbit, the separation from the stage 4, and then the extraction of the lunar lander. And then later on in the mission, the command module, or the service module rather, contains an instrument bay, and this is the first time that the service module contained this bay. So they ejected the panel from the bay that contained the instruments, and this occurred about halfway to the moon. And then of course it goes around and lands. Now I won't talk about the rest because that's coming up in the next slide. Now, they when they separated from the Earth, and the S4B accelerated them into a trajectory to take it to the moon, when they separated, they burned the S4B again to direct it to an impact on the lunar surface. So this cover on July 29th covers the impact on the surface and the fact that it was detected by the Apollo 14 seismometer and also the Apollo 12 seismometer. So both seismometers picked up the impact and the reverberations that occurred in the lunar surface. So this is a nice insert in one of the covers. Shows the lunar module where the astronauts stand and all the instruments in front of them. So quite a busy place, actually. Now this is July 30, so this would be the landing of the Falcon on the moon. And this celebrates It's one of the landing covers. Now this Apollo 15, as Randy mentioned the previous presentation, this was the first mission with the lunar rover. So this was essentially the vehicle that would allow them to drive around the surface and cover more area in the time allotted to them. So this was the first use of the rover. And here we have the picture of the rover on the moon driving away from the Falcon. Now again, this is another dual purpose cover in that it has the landing on the 30th and the liftoff on the 2nd of August. So again, another graphic that is used for two events. So this again this is what happened on this mission. Now this is an excellent insert that was in this cover. It shows where the Falcon landed and then all the EVAs that took place. The first one was actually at the Falcon, where they just did a visual sighting of the area they had landed in. And then they have the three missions where they used the rover. The first one up to these craters over here and back. The second one out to this front crater and the spin crater over here, spur crater over here. And then the last rover out to the ridge and viewing 3 points there before returning to the Falcon. So again, quite extensive exploration of this area of the moon. Now this was the official first day on the moon cancellation. So the postmark is the Falcon post office on the moon, and it's dated the 2nd of August, and it's the first day of these pair of stamps. Now this particular cover obviously was canceled in Houston and has the official release of those stamps. Now the stamps used on the cover that Scott carried with him and canceled were the prototypes of the issue. Now he only had a single cover, and this one cover is currently in the National Postal Museum at the Smithsonian. So you can actually see this cover on display at the Smithsonian Postal Museum. And there's only one, so it's where you have to go to see it. Okay, this is the August 2nd, later in the day, when the moon mission lifts off from the moon. So that's the time frame it happened. And this is also the first time that they were able to televise the liftoff back to Earth. So this is celebrating the fact that you first live television of the liftoff from the moon. Now, this is in that instrument package or that instrument module that they exposed the instruments to when they separated the cover on the way to the moon. Also within that module was a small satellite, and they launched that satellite on the 4th of August in lunar orbit. The satellite was designed specifically to measure geomagnetic fields and magnetic fields around the moon, as well as take some measurements of the refractivity of the moon. So it was an interesting little satellite, 3 experiments, and they launched it, and it performed quite well. We have a few more covers covering this with the inserts. So this is the little sub-satellite, shows the instrument bay with all of it exposed. The satellite was in this area here, but all the sensitive film instruments were back here. So again, it had quite a number of instruments used for measuring the moon and taking photographs of the surface. Here's another cover that celebrates the launch of the satellite, and another insert that shows more detail of the launching mechanism, the guide rails, and the spring-loaded system that once the switch was released, the door pops open on the side, and then the spring sets the satellite in motion. And again, Warden, who was the command module pilot, would have to position the command module in a certain orientation so that when the satellite ejected, it entered lunar orbit, because it didn't have its own propulsion system. It was just free orbiting satellite. Now, the next day, on the 5th of August, they leave the moon, and at this time, this is the first spacewalk not in orbit. So it's not a spacewalk around the Earth, it's not a spacewalk around the moon. It's a spacewalk in deep space between the moon and the Earth. And at the time, this was the highest spacewalk at 196,000 miles. And the reason Al Warden went out was to retrieve the film canisters in the instrument bay at the back. And he had to do a total of 3 spacewalks, 2 to get film canisters, and the third one to examine some of the instruments that he had noticed seemed to be a bit faulty when he was doing his tests. And here's the activities, the sort of a continuation of that slide we had earlier. So the liftoff occurred, and then the ascent engine is and the lunar module is released from the command module, and it is the engine is burned for a last time until the fuel is used up, and then it impacts on the moon. Of course, this impact was now recorded by Apollo 12, Apollo 14, and Apollo 15. So all the seismometers recorded this particular impact. And then after launching the satellite, they go for a trans-Earth injection orbit. So now we get another dual cover. And this is the August 2 is when they leave the moon, and August 7 is when they splash down. So again, a dual purpose cover covering 2 events. Now here is the nice insert in the splashdown cover. It shows the spacecraft returning from the moon and entering the Earth's atmosphere. And as you can see from this diagram, they have a very narrow window from 6.5 degrees to 7.5 degrees, with 6 degrees being the target. If they're shallower than 5.5 degrees, then the capsule will essentially bounce off the atmosphere and head off into deep space. Not a good end to the mission. The other end of it is going beyond 7.5 degrees, and this is too steep an entry, and then it behaves like a meteorite and burns up in the atmosphere completely. The heat shield isn't sufficient to keep it intact. So they came in at 6 degrees, went through their blackout, got out of blackout, had the drogue chutes release, and then the main chutes, and they splashed down successfully. And there's the Endeavour on it. Now this shows it on its 3 chutes, but of course we know that 1 chute failed on the actual landing. So obviously the graphic was prepared beforehand. August 7th, they splashed down. Now there was 2 recovery ships in the for this mission in the Pacific, Task Force 130 first ship was the Kiwasiwi, which supports the prime recovery ship. The prime recovery ship is USS Okinawa, which had recovered a number of the missions before this one, and it was the one that picked up the astronauts and picked up the capsule. Now this is the astronauts returning to the Lunar Receiving Laboratory in Houston, and they talk about the Genesis rock, which was the oldest rocket that was brought back, 4 billion years old. It was actually unpacked on the 13th of August. So as you can see, even though this cover was dated the 9th, it has information in the future. Again, fascinating how postal historians can go back and forth in time. And then the last cover I have is a goodwill tour cover where all 15 astronauts went to Britain and talked about their mission. So this was on the 8th of November when they were in the UK. And as usual for Space Talks, I show my favorite stamp, the checks in the mail from beyond the orbit of Saturn. Okay.
Thank you, Simon. Any questions for Simon?
I got one.
Yeah.
I assume the rule with covers is the cancel stamp has to be valid. It has to be the right date.
Yes.
But you're allowed to cancel a blank piece of paper.
Yes.
With a stamp on it, and then you can print it later. Because some of it, as you said, with the bouncing back and forth in time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the Americans did this, but so did everyone else. The
Yeah,
Russians quite famously
fine.
did this.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the thing is that there was a lot of people trying to get covers. So everyone would send their covers in with the correct stamp, and then Cape Canaveral or Houston or wherever it was, the naval base is another example. They would just cancel all the covers on that day with a machine that would cancel hundreds of covers a minute. Right? And then they would send them all back, and then the cachet makers would then take those pre-canceled covers with the right date to their printer and have the nice, colorful, informative cachets, which is the graphics on it, applied at a later date.
With the correct times, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Simon.
Thanks, Simon.
Yeah.
Simon, Ron
Yeah.
here. Are covers still produced for, we obviously don't have that many manned missions now, but other than to the space station, but are they still producing covers? I'm thinking maybe for Perseverance or James Webb.
Likely they are. The popularity of cover collecting for the space program is not as high as it was.
Mm-hmm.
As we'll notice when we get into the next two, Apollo 16 and Apollo 17 really became popular, and I'll have a hard time choosing a good representative sample. But the space shuttle program had a lot of covers. I mean, every mission had a cover. A lot of the satellite launches had covers. So it still occurs. It's still something that happens to this day. It's probably just not as popular as it once was.
Thank you.
Simon?
Yeah.
On one of the earliest covers, there was actually a shout out to RCA. Do you know if that was a sponsored endorsement or just national pride, or?
One of the covers I just showed?
Yeah, it was like the third or fourth along.
Yeah, they made the TV.
Yes, right. Yeah, that was on the lunar surface. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were promoting them. They probably paid for this one. In fact, it could even be an RCA cover. They could be the cachet maker.
Oh,
So they're promoting the fact that they have the color television camera on the rover that was able to broadcast back the return or the launch off the moon.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's not uncommon. There, Grumman, Raytheon, Boeing, they all produce covers, just not in as high a number as some of the professional cachet makers.
Interesting. Thank you.
So you could probably get a Boeing cover for every Apollo mission, but they're hard to get because they were not many produced.
Hmm.
Okay,
Thank you, Simon. Excellent. Thanks again.
good. You're welcome.
So we'll look forward to Apollo 16 and 17 and beyond.
Well, I always wait for Randy. I follow Randy.
Good man. All right. Thanks very much. Let's move on to our next talk. Adina has a very interesting talk about her trip out to Alberta and a visit to a cosmic ray station. I'm looking forward to this. Adina, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you, Randy. Let me share my screen. I hope you're seeing the first photo.
Yep, looks good.
All right. So my name is Adina. I think it's the first time I'm talking in this group. That doesn't mean that I did not enjoy all the presentation that I heard over the last couple of years. And I will be talking today about my trip to Sulphur Mountain in Banff, Alberta, and my attempt to see the cosmic ray station at the top of this mountain. So the trip that I took this year was in the middle of August. And as you know, you probably know, because you try to observe the sky, this year was a really bad year for forest fires. The first picture that I took after landing in Calgary, and you can see it here, it's actually, you can't actually see too much. You can see that there's some mountains in the background, but you don't even realize how big these mountains are. After we landed in Calgary, we were planning to drive to Banff and from there further on towards Vancouver. So this is from the drive to Banff. The second picture here, it's actually taken in Canmore, where we decided to stay for a couple of days and visit the surrounding area. As you can see, it's a very nice sunset with the only clarification that it's not actually a sunset. It was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And the next one, this one, it's at 6 p.m. in the afternoon. So you can't see too much. It was really depressing, and it was not the fact that you weren't able to see around, but it was like a really thick fog all day long and with a very pungent smell. It was something like I never smelled before, not like a fire that you have in your garden. It was a little bit sweet, and it was both inside and outside. You couldn't get rid of it, very strong. And I can only imagine how hard it was for the people in the area to live like that for a full summer, like really, really bad. This picture was taken at Lake Louise. Again, you can see the fog, middle of the day. That was middle of the day. And for whomever is wondering how Lake Louise should look like, if you're Googling Lake Louise, these are the pictures that you see on the internet. Okay, so at this point, you realize that we weren't so happy and we weren't too optimistic about our trip, but we were lucky. We had a full day of rain that washed out the smoke, and these are the pictures, these are the views that emerged from the smoke. And this picture is from the top of Mount Sulphur. Beautiful views. I got very excited. Finally, I was able to take pictures. I started running around. Yes, this was where it was supposed to be, the cosmic ray station. So I rushed and I rushed, took all the pictures that I could for the only building that was on top here. You can see it here farther away. This was from closer. Then I tried very hard to get a picture through this window. This was the inside. And that's when it dawned to me that maybe this is not the cosmic ray station. But there was no other building around the mountain at all. So I was wondering what's going on. Definitely this was too small, and there was no machinery inside, nothing to measure cosmic ray station with. And of course, I started reading the sign only at this point. And as you can see, this is the sign at the top of Mount Sulphur without saying that they built it in between 1957 and 1958. And it was closed in 78. And the building itself was dismantled in 1981. So there goes my visit to the beautiful cosmic ray station. And then I started reading a little bit better because now I was asking myself questions. Wait a minute, if this is so known, because I read about this before and I read it down from the mountain where we took the gondola, why was it dismantled? And I was trying to get a little bit of indication about this in the signs around the area where it was. This one was saying that was part of 99 cosmic ray stations, 9 in Canada, and this one was the most important Canadian station. Very interesting, but no indication into why it still is not there anymore, even as a museum. So there were 2 more signs on the top of the mountain. One of them was this one. You can see in this picture how it was looking inside. Again, some more indications about what was this one, the fact that you see here at the end, the University of Alberta and Calgary operated the station between 60 and 78. That was one indication that I was like, okay, maybe I can find more information here for University of Alberta. And then this was the last sign with a question, why here? Now, there is a little bit of an explanation about the Earth magnetic field deflects the charged particles in cosmic rays away from the surface of the planet, and then something more in small, small letters. But that was about it. Nothing else about the reason of dismantling, what exactly was measuring. So at this point, I did the best I could to visit something at the top of the Mount Sulphur. And when I headed home, I had a mystery on my hands. So I wanted to know what actually happened. Why it's not there anymore? And if something was discovered or any studies were coming out of this cosmic ray station, where are they? The first place where I looked for more information was, of course, the University of Alberta, Calgary. And if you're looking on the web page of this one, you could see at least the picture how it was looking at the time was built. Not much bigger than the weather station that I took a picture of, but at least something. And then there's a lot of information here, but no indication, again, about the scientific background of this one. There is a cool information here about Dr. Brian Wilson, that he came down with chickenpox while alone at the station during his initial research trip. But any Googling of Dr. Brian Wilson did not help me a lot in understanding what exactly was this cosmic ray station measuring and why was it dismantled. I continued my Google research, my Google journey, and okay, this one I already showed it to you, and I ended up here in still on University of Calgary. We have here more information a little bit about the North Pole, the fact that the North Pole is influencing the measurements. That was part of the worldwide network of cosmic ray monitors again, recorded invaluable information. And then it dawned to me, maybe because the North Pole was moving in the last couple of years, that was the reason this cosmic ray station was not used anymore. So again, I continued my Google research, And the first thing that came when I searched for the North Pole, it's this article, not very useful. The Russia is stealing the magnetic pole from Canada. So I continued. This is the map. If we're looking for the years 1957, 1978, and dismantled in 1981, and we're looking at the North Pole movements in between these years, it's not that much. And again, Banff, it's not that close to the magnetic pole. So definitely this couldn't have been the reason why this station was not used anymore. Okay, what else? We're going back on this page. It's mentioning that the cosmic ray intensity variation and interactions, properties of extensive air showers, solar flares, and the study of auroral emissions. Sorry, I cannot pronounce that word. So I was thinking, okay, maybe whatever was measuring is measured better right now. And that's why whatever they were doing on the top of the mountain, it's not valid anymore. The question that came at this point in my mind was, how were they measuring and what exactly cosmic rays mean? So I searched again and I found this. Measuring of the cosmic rays. And we're looking at, measurement of them, it's actually looking at charged particles, very small ones. And I was doubting that the small station that was at the top of the mountain had any detectors or capability to measure this. Can I actually see exactly what the station was measuring? If you search cosmic ray measurements and Mount Sulphur on Google, there's no hits. Nothing that is coming in the first couple of pages, page 1 to 5, nothing meaningful. And then I realized that maybe whatever they were calling cosmic rays, it was not actually measuring of cosmic rays. More search, and this is what I found. Cosmic ray induced neutron. And if you read the first sentence here, what actually you're measuring is not those small particles in the first place, but the reaction that they cause when they enter the atmosphere. So maybe if I'm searching neutron measurements and Mount Sulphur, that's when I will find something about this. Okay, and the first search did allow me to see that indeed there was the network that was built at that time when they were trying to complete this array of monitors across the earth. Some of them are still in use right now. Many of them were closed because now we have space probes. And this is probably the reason the one at the top of the Mount Sulphur was dismantled. There was no need for it. And now it remained only the last question. If there were any discoveries that Mount Sulphur helped with, where are they and why I can find them very, very easily? A search with a neutron array, a neutron detection array, and Mount Sulphur finally brought up to me this study where if you're looking for sulfur, you see references to Sulphur Mountain, a long article actually. And tell you the truth, as after all my research that I've done, Google research that I've done for finding this article, I wasn't able to read it at all. Well, I did browse through it, but to try to understand it, probably I'll need another couple of days and maybe another future presentation to look at all the findings and all the discoveries that were done from the Mount Sulphur. So this was my Google journey to find more information about the Mount Sulphur Cosmic Ray Station. Again, if anyone would want to take it over from here and read the article and present the findings, I'll put the link to it in the chat. For me, it was already too much. I'm just joking, but again, hard to find information for something that is considered one of the main attractions in Alberta, and that's not easy to hear about. Maybe we should have more presence in the internet, on the internet with things like that, and not just mentioning, okay, here it was, Cosmic Ray Station, and that's it. Okay, that was my presentation.
Thank you, Adina. Any questions for Adina? I'll ask you one. Did you see the opening of the Cosmic Ray Station coincided with the International Geophysical Year in 1957? Did you see any references to that?
Yes, there was a reference to that, but just the reference, like just that the fact that the opening coincided with that. Okay, nothing else, nothing why. I needed a why. Why was it?
Well, it was an international organization of countries to learn more about the Earth's atmosphere and astronomy, and the first launch of a satellite and whatever. So yeah, I'm not surprised. I think that's very cool. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Any other questions for Adina?
The Parks Canada site on it gives you a 404 error, so that tells you something.
Yeah, from the building that you took a picture of up there, from what you saw through the window, those look like meteorological instruments to measure air pressure and rainfall and things like that. And judging by the age of the telephone that was off to the right, I would say that's probably been there since the turn of the last century.
Okay.
So there are a lot of weather stations located on near mountaintops for the purpose of recording weather data.
Yeah, that was the old weather station.
Yep.
I think it's worthwhile to maybe look through the RAC journal and see if we see any articles on this Sulphur Mountain, because I bet you there's something buried there somewhere.
There's the Wayback Internet Wayback Machine does have an article on it. I'll post it to the group.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Peabody.
Okay, back to you then.
Okay, Adina, thanks very much, and hope you had a great trip out west. Okay, we're going to move to our next speaker, Dalisay Perez, who had an amazing trip out west as well. Not quite as far as Adina, but she had an opportunity to see some amazing northern lights. So Dalisay, the chair is yours.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Can you see my screen?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Hi, my name is Dalisay. It's my first time to present here also. So I've been in the club for like since 2019. I was able to attend some of the meetings in the University of Toronto, and then the pandemic came. So so I used to live in Edmonton actually. So this trip is just visiting again my friends, and I'm lucky because with the type of work that I can work from home, so I was able to stay there for almost 2 months and able to do some aurora chasing. So So before I show some other pictures, just I'm not an expert, so I just copied the slides from one of the group in the Alberta Aurora Chasers Club. So something about Northern Lights. So the Northern Lights is the history, though it was Italian astronomer Galileo Galilei who coined the name Aurora Borealis in 1619 after the Roman goddess of dawn Aurora and the Greek god of the north wind Boreas. The earliest suspected record of the Northern Lights is the 30,000-year-old cave painting in France. So what is aurora? Aurora is charged solar particles from the sun that interacts with the Earth's magnetic field in Earth's atmosphere. So in the north, we have the Aurora Borealis. In the south, we have the Aurora Australis. There's different seasons, colors, and characteristics. And for predicting the Northern Lights, we have the space weather, like the solar data. I'll show later the site that we look at. And also, the other important thing is the earth weather. If it is cloudy, the moon, and the light pollution. Just like with the other, when taking some night photography, that the factors that needs to be considered. So okay, so these are the different aurora. Like, so there's the diffuse, which is, I think, the common one, and then the arcs, the bands, the pillars in the corona. If you see in the news, last Thanksgiving, they have a great show in Edmonton. That one I missed for just a couple of days. So with the, so this is from the website that's in, later on I'll show the details. So they have different explanation in this one. Later on, I could just send this. I know this is kind of like blurry, but so the common one with the G1 minor KP, I think 4, and then the last one that they have on Monday is the moderate one, which is solar G2 storm, and sometimes it reached us, but I don't know if, I think some were able to get some pictures. And so another one is for the auroral oval. This one I just captured this a few hours ago. So this is the like the 30-minute forecast. Later on we'll also go to the website so we can look all together. So for I just would like to share the first photo that I was able to take of the aurora was September 29, 2017. This one, I just, that time the phone is not as good as of now. So I took this photo actually in the balcony of our apartment. So even there's city lights, you're still able to see. This is one of the really amazing, this show, because it's just dancing in there. It's very nice, and we're just lucky. It's just arrived also early because it's only around 10 p.m. Mostly, I believe there's lots of auroras in that area, but mostly it's after midnight, so people are already sleeping. So that's why it's not able to capture. So this one is from my trip last summer. So this is downtown Edmonton. Even in the city lights, we're still able to capture the aurora. I use this one with Google Pixel 4. There's a setting in there for the astrophotography, and some of the pictures I use Pentax K70. I don't know how the settings is because I just bought that camera, so I just use the default astrophotography settings in there. So hopefully in the future, yeah, I can join the astrophotography group and learn things about night photography. So these are some of the pictures. This is so like in the first slide that I show, one of the slides I showed, there's a different, we have the arc or the band, and then the pillars. I think these are the pillars. I was not able to take other like coronal. It needs a strong aurora. And also, so one night we also tried to, because the data in the website is very promising. So maybe I'll share the site so we could kind of like look at the. So this is the site. You can also download the app in the smartphone. So this is the real data now. So as we can see, in some area there's a possibility to see the aurora. And right now I don't know why there's no KP in here. The higher the KP, the great the coverage. So I think for Toronto, 6 and up, we need 6 and up so that we'll be able to see the aurora in our area. And so the higher the solar wind, it will, there's a chance possibility. And also I don't know why this is also nothing in there. So yeah, as long as this like yellow is higher, and this is one of the important thing that we always look when we try to look. If it is, even though these are high, sometimes, but if this is like in the north, then we won't be able to see the aurora. It should be south, because this is the interplanetary magnetic field and it reacts with our with the earth one. So this should be going south, and so that it will produce aurora. And so this is one of the site, and also with the so like last time like I mentioned, we have this promising data, and then suddenly it was negative, but then we didn't see the aurora in our area. It appeared probably farther north, but you can see the glow here in the clouds that is in there. And then this is around like 1:30 a.m. and then suddenly the data shifted from south to north. So it's back up time, because yeah, we won't be able to see. So this one is taken in Elk Island. It is one of the national park in Alberta, and is also one of the dark sky reserve. So this is where nice to see the aurora. There's a lake. Maybe later I'll show some other pictures around taken from this area. And also this one, just going back, we saw this around 12:30 to 1 a.m. In the city. And then when on my way to Toronto on October 6, I got lucky. I was able to see the aurora in the window plane, which is one of my bucket list, because I've been traveling. But before this trip, I really booked the ticket when there is a moonless night, because I said, oh, if there's a chance, it would be nice. And then I make sure that my seat is in the side where I will see the northern sky. So, and then the seat not on the wing, but a little bit, so that it won't be obstruction. And yeah, that night is perfect, because yeah, I got lucky. I was able to see the aurora. It's not this deep green in the naked eye, just like with other astrophotography, that the lights that we see is not the same as the picture, but you can see it's there, like in the travel from Edmonton, from Alberta to Ontario. Yeah, I was able to see it. I just need to sleep Saturday because I need to work the following day. So those are some of the pictures. So this one also, by the way, this one, in my phone, there's the astrophotography settings, and there's also an option that it will take some time lapse video. So for that 4 minutes as of photography, so this is the video, the time-lapse video that was created. So the way I took it on the plane, it's hard. It's hard because it's moving in with astrophotography. We need a tripod, so it's got a steady, but it's moving. So I just put my phone on the window, in the window, to get this kind of photo. So these are some of the pictures also from different time. And so this is how, so just to show the how big that aurora is that night. Yeah, so yeah, so this is from Alberta, and then I took some photo on Saskatchewan, and then in Manitoba and in Ontario, and then I sleep because, yeah, like I said, I need to work the following day. And then this one I missed. This came last Thanksgiving. This Thanksgiving. So basically, with the aurora, it's really the sun from the solar flare from the sun. It, like in the first slide that I show, the solar wind will travel and then hit the Earth magnetic, and then they will have some collision. So that will produce this beautiful light. So that time it is G2 geomagnetic storm observed, KP6. These pictures are taken from my friends in there. So yeah, they just use their phone camera, and these are the pictures that able to capture. So that is my, yeah, I just would like, yeah. And then when I saw the email from Randy who would like to share, I saw that on October 6th, and since I just saw this pictures, I was happy to share. And then later on, I just realized, oh no, I kind of like nervous because I'm not used to speaking in public. So, but yeah, hope you enjoy. So like I said, this one, and yeah, there's lots of also in from that trip. I did some like with the new camera, I tried to take some pictures of the moon. So still trying to figure out that camera. So yeah, like I said, I need to join the group.
Thank you very much, Dalisay. Beautiful pictures. Any questions for Dalisay on her pictures?
I'll try a question, Dalisay. I really enjoyed your presentation. The pictures are beautiful. You said that seeing the aurora from the airplane was one of your bucket list items.
Yeah.
And I wonder what remains on your bucket list that's related to auroras now.
Oh, there's still lots. I would like to see to learn actually I haven't see in the telescope the different planets. Like I think I mentioned it earlier before when I joined the group. Yeah, because right now I haven't bought any telescope, and we don't have any like group viewing, like because of the pandemic. So I missed that. So that's still like to see the different planets or other deep sky objects through the telescope. That's one. And one other bucket list that I was able to get on that trip, also not related to aurora, but hiking in one of the trails in Alberta. So it was checked. So two checks on the bucket list.
Your presentation reminded me of some former friends. I was on a transatlantic trip to Europe, and they told me when we landed in the morning, of course, that there was this gorgeous display of the Northern Lights. I was facing south. No one bothered to mention it during the course of the transit. And so I'm thankful for having an opportunity to see your pictures. I missed it when I had the chance.
Yeah, the pilot didn't also mention that there is an aurora. I was waiting that it would be mentioned, but nobody mentioned it. But yeah, because I was really, before that plane takeoff, I look at the data actually, and I saw that it's promising, and I said, oh, hopefully it doesn't change, because when there was like, I think there was fire in Saskatchewan that's blowing west, so the air quality also in Edmonton that night is really not good, so we don't see anything. So, but then I saw the data is promising, so I said, I hope when we're higher than the clouds, we'll be able to see the aurora. And when I look at my left side, yeah, it is there. So yeah, it's better to plan also like where to sit, because yeah, it might just be there, and so that we won't miss. So I just got lucky finally.
Thank you very much.
Question, Dalisay. I don't know about the mechanics of it. Do you know if any of the particles from the fires actually go higher than the clouds? Did you notice any degradation, or were you only flying at night, so it'd be tough to tell?
Which fire? You mean the fire in the?
In the fire out west, were you able to discern anything above you effectively? Nothing?
No, I took some pictures that I just noticed with the clouds, but I don't know, because it's nighttime.
Yeah.
I kind of like a different photo. I don't know if there's still time. Let me just share quickly that. Oh wait, sorry. What is that? That photo.
Fire's over by then, no?
The fire actually that night is not in Alberta. When I read, because I just want to see why the air quality that time, I believe was 7 in Edmonton, and when I read it's somewhere in Saskatchewan that was causing that poor air quality during that night.
I just know it gets all the way over here. I don't know how high it travels. I don't know how high it gets.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I think so. From the clouds, let me just get that picture. Where was that? That picture, October 6th. So many pictures. So in the yeah. Okay, here.
Are you sharing your screen, Dalisay? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah. I will share soon. Just selecting that photo. So okay, sorry. Okay, here. So share. So the picture on that night. Here. So this is the when I take off. Oh, sorry. Those are the farewell. Okay, so this is how it is. The air quality, yeah, from that fire. So yeah. And then so I didn't notice, and then when I look again, I just saw the northern lights. So as you can see, yeah. So I guess there is that, yeah, you can see it's not that hazy picture. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Must be the altitude the airplane's flying to, right? They tend to fly around 35,000. I don't know if the air particles were getting up that high, Alan. So
No, I agree. I don't know. That was my
Yeah.
point. I didn't know whether it would be visible.
yeah. While I have the floor, first of all, I'm just blown away. It's on my bucket list to see. Swapna here, by the way. It's on my bucket list to see the Aurora. What would be the best months you think of the year? And I realize it really depends on the week you go. And with my luck, I probably will get a hurricane or something.
Yeah.
But,
The ones that I read, they say that it's always like most of the actually the good news now I read there's 11-year solar cycle, and we are going to the solar maximum. So I think the peak would be the next solar maximum would be August 2023 or 2024. So I guess that would be better year to go to Alberta. Also, they said that with the equinoxes is more the chance is higher. Just like last March they had also a good show, and then now even though we had our equinox on September, few weeks from that they got last Thanksgiving a very nice show. So, and also they said winter time because the night time is longer, so there's like a higher chance that because sometimes they will appear early, and with the summer times when the up to 11 o'clock there is still not dark, so it's hard to see the aurora. So yeah, more on winter time maybe, like now, because the first one that I saw was September, and then the rest is around this period, like September, end of August, October. So far, based on my experience, this is the good time. So, and also like with that the solar cycle that we are going to the, because by that time when it is solar maximum, the sun will have lots of activity. It will emit those CMA, coronal mass ejection, and that will it will be a good source based on what I read.
Thank you. We have to start planning. Thanks so much.
I have a question. Did you, this series, like right from Alberta to Ontario, you saw it continuously?
I sleep for some time, but every time I wake up, I see that band. That's why.
And this is October 6th? October 6th?
October 6th. October 6th.
Wow.
October 6th.
That is truly amazing. I can't even believe it. You're lucky. Yeah,
I got lucky because I did try to, like when I fly, I always fly like nighttime just to see, but I didn't get lucky. It's only last.
And you planned it meticulously. All the factors were
like the moon.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. I'm so impressed. Thank you for sharing the images. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Dalisay. Wow, that was very, very impressive. So our last speaker is Bhavi Vignesh, and she's given a talk to us before, but now Bhavi, as you know, she's very, very busy working on various coding projects and other competitions and conferences. And today she's going to talk to us about the NASA space apps that she was involved with, and some recent skills Ontario International Day of the Girl conferences. So, Bhavi, the floor is yours.
Hello.
Hello there.
Just going to present. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
So, one sec. 1 second, I'm just going to reshare. Okay, hi everyone. I hope everyone is doing really well. Today I want to talk about my IDG conference and NASA Space Apps pretty sure you guys have no idea what that is, but that's why I'm here. I'm excited to talk about this, and I had a really great experience here. So thank you for inviting me, and I'm really excited to get started. So on my introduction page, first I'm going to talk about what is IDG and what does it stand for. Then I'm going to talk about my experience with the conference. And then I'm going to talk about what is NASA Space Apps and giving a NASA Space Apps overview. And no, you don't get to go to space, but yeah, it's a competition. And then I'm going to talk about my submission to NASA Space Apps. So, what is IDG? IDG, or the International Day of the Girl, it's a day of girls and their actions, leaderships, strengths, and accomplishments. It also aims to identify the voices of girls and basically to say girls' voices matter and they have an opinion. So I'm going to talk about the IDG conference I was invited to. So an organization called Skills Ontario. Skills Ontario promotes skilled trades and technologies in Ontario. They host a bunch of different STEM challenges for us to do at home and in person before COVID. And every year, Skills Ontario invites girls into a conference and asks questions about their opinions on future jobs and skilled trades and what they think about gender inequality. And I was invited to be in the conference this year. They also invited a skilled trade woman worker to talk about their journey in skilled trades, and we could ask questions to them. This year we had an auto body technician, and her name was Kiara, and we could ask questions to her. So it was a really, really great experience, and conference live streamed on YouTube. So if you missed it, don't worry. Skills Ontario will post it on YouTube where you can search their name up and you'll find it soon. So it was a really great experience, and it was really fun to voice my opinions out loud and hear from an actual skilled trade worker. So that was really inspiring and it was so fun. So next, I'd like to talk about NASA Space Apps, which happened a couple weeks after my conference. So what is NASA Space Apps? So NASA Space Apps is, NASA International Space Apps actually, is an annual NASA hackathon. The hackathon is for any age to participate, and the main point of it is everyone goes into teams and chooses a crisis to tackle. It's a 2-day hackathon, meaning they have to finish and create a project in 2 days. You either have to create a real solution. For example, if you're going to help farmers, you can create a website to promote farmers' real-time products, which is what our team did last year. So this year, we tackled the problem of collaborating. So when astronauts write logs or a summary of what happened in the real mission they were in, they work independently and there's really no collaboration. And besides, if there's no collaboration, they work siloed. And researchers down on Earth have a hard time picking up what happened in the mission. So our team's solution was to create a web page that allows both astronauts and workers down at Earth to collaborate and talk, connect from space, and connect from Earth. That was our motto. So this is a video that our team made, and I'm just going to share sound, and I'm gonna show the video.
Super excited to share that we participated in a 2-day Space Apps 2021 Hackathon Challenge conducted by NASA. Our team, me and my dad, designed and built a real-time collaboration platform for Artemis mission workers to collaboratively log their mission activities. I'm going to share this hackathon journey in 3 parts. Part 1, what is the problem? Part 2, what is the solution? And Part 3, demo and time-lapse journey. Part 1, what is the problem? Whenever space exploration-related missions happen, it is critical for astronauts and space workers involved to capture detailed logs of activities performed in the mission. Using this present data system, each team member creates a console log in isolation. In other words, there's no way for a flight controller to simultaneously see the live creation of logs by others or to synchronize multiple people's logs to compare notes with you. What is our solution? Our team has developed a live software platform that allows astronauts and other space workers to collaboratively work on their space missions and enter respective logs. The platform aims to make the mission logs capture process into a simple but collaborative process. Let's see the demo. That page is called Spacebook. Connect from space, connect from Earth. An astronaut can log in, click on the mission they were on, and write a log of what happened in the mission. They can see their crewmates' logs as well. Once they've written their log, they can click send and other crewmates can see it. Like an astronaut on the same mission, named Astro Maddie, can also log in, click on the mission she was in, and can see her crewmates' log and click like. Then she can write her own log of what happened after that, and click on send. Thanks for watching, guys. I wish you good luck if you're submitting a NASA Space Apps project. See you next time.
So that was our submission to NASA Space Apps, and I made a detailed video about the original hackathon, and it was a really fun experience, and it was my second time participating in the hackathon, and I got some really great advice from some of the organizers in our community, and it was just a great experience, and I had a lot of fun. So thanks for having me here, everyone.
Thank you. Wow, that's awesome. Any questions for Bhavi on this, this amazing presentation? How often does the Space Apps happen?
So it's an annual challenge. So it comes every year around this September-ish time, and you can tackle any crisis there and create a solution for it. So I guess it mostly happens around this time of year.
And it's international, you said?
Yeah, anyone can participate.
Wow. What are some of the other projects that you saw other groups do?
Well, I explored around. There were even art projects that you could have done, like creating a satellite. And the one I mentioned earlier was Farmers Friends, which is what we did last year. And we got to we created this small Google Sites prototype, so you could see local farmers and you could choose how you wanted to deliver the product to your house. There was like drone delivery and regular curbside pickup. So that was one of the challenges. I think we chose this challenge because I kind of wanted to interpret coding and space together, so it could be more better for me because I thought that would be easier. And I learned a lot of new things in this challenge because I added a lot of different concepts here.
How did you hear about it at first, Bhavi?
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, how did you hear about it at last year when you attended the first time?
Last year was probably through Twitter, and I think it was pretty much through Twitter, and it came on my feed. So I was like, let's participate in this.
I thought it was kind of interesting, Bobby, because we had a presentation a few years ago from a fellow named Ben Feist, who is developing software to sort of try to grab all the information that would be happening on a lunar mission. What he did is he captured all of the audio and visual video from the Apollo missions and put them into a kind of an organized format so that you could see what was going on and what samples were being picked up and all that. And now he's working on, for Artemis, when astronauts go there, that people on the ground will be able to see what the astronauts are doing, what samples they're picking up, and really coordinate all the information together, which is very similar to something that you're doing here, collecting all of people's thoughts and logs and whatever, because there are so many people involved with the mission. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was, so he's actually working for the Artemis mission?
He's working on, developing that for when they go back to the moon. So
oh, wow.
Ben Feist, F-E-I-S-T. He's a Toronto guy, and look him up because he's got some pretty cool websites out there.
That's really cool.
His sister is the singer, Feist.
She might not know.
Yeah, that's way beyond.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, Frank Sinatra, Alan.
Yeah.
Bobby, hi, it's Betty. Sitting here with Randy. I just have a question. When you sign up for the NASA app challenge, do you sign up individually? Do you sign up through your school? Are you automatically assigned a team? How does that work?
So actually this time we use the same account as last year, but I think you can just create a team, and we had to sign up through our community, like the center that was nearby to our home. So we had to use that, and that way we could sign up, but we created our own team and we could do it independently. So
how many were on your team?
it was just me and my dad, so we created it together.
Oh my God.
Excellent. Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Excellent.
So I thought I saw you had actually coded such that you turned your father into a robot.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Yeah, that was actually also a Skills Ontario competition. So we had to program one of our family members to follow like an algorithm that we write instructions for, and then how to tie a shoelace in real life. So I chose my dad, and he tied the shoelace.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. Any other questions for Bobby? Like, when is she going to Mars?
Oh, when's NDA gonna scoop her up?
Yeah, well, you know, she's got a few years before that, but it won't be long, that's for sure. All right, thanks for giving us an update, Bobby. We're really interested in your progress as you go through these incredible experiences. So,
Thank you.
hopefully, when we get back to meeting at the university, you can come in and give us a show and tell on some of the things.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Bobby or any of our speakers as we wind up? Okay, well, I've just got a few short announcements. The 2022 calendars are available for sale. I mentioned that in an email and in Messenger. Messenger is out, by the way, so download Messenger for the latest news on center activities. Calendars are $15, and we're going to try to set up some sort of distribution bypassing Canada Post. So it'll be meaning, you know, look for somebody with a trench coat and a rose on lapel at the Square One and secret meetings or something like that. Or we'll just have regular distribution points around the city. But hopefully we can bypass Canada Post. So send me an email if you would like a calendar, and we'll let you know how we're going to get them out to you. Our next meeting is in 2 weeks. It is a special meeting. It is a NASA astrophysicist, Michelle Mather, who is one of NASA's main public outreach speakers. She's done TED Talks, she's done videos, she's on Nova, she's all over the place. And she's a great promoter of astronomy and space education. And thanks to our amazing program team, committee team, we have her set up to give a talk on the 29th, 2 weeks tonight. It's a Halloween theme, scary things that go bump in the night, neutron stars and black holes. I think it'll be an ideal talk for everybody, including your family members and your friends. So please let them know about this talk. That's all I have. Are there any other announcements from anybody before we sign off? All right, well, thanks everyone. Great presentation. And one of these days we'll be able to get face-to-face again, hopefully in the new year. But as in spite of that, we've got some great presentations coming up. So check out the events page. Thank you to all our Potpourri presenters for tonight. And we're looking forward to, it's great to see some new presenters. So we'll look forward to some new faces in the future for our Potpourri presentations as well. So take care, everyone, and we'll see you soon.
I have a question, Randy, about
Yeah.
stars. This morning in the southern sky, I saw 3 stars in an equilateral triangle. I couldn't place them. Southern sky.
Okay.
What might they be? It's not Saturn or Mars.
No.
Early
They'd be gone.
Early morning.
Nothing associated with Orion, possibly?
No, I couldn't see above me because there was condensation on my window above me.
Okay.
So I couldn't place them this way. I just saw them through the kitchen window looking south.
So,
I
okay.
had no reference. I had no reference to point.
Okay. Could your hand cover all 3 stars if at arm's length?
Possibly. I got them in my camera.
Oh, okay.
My cell phone camera.
Okay.
With no changes to it. No, what's the word? Pinching out or pinching in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
There's one.
If the photo
Yeah,
came out, share the photo with us, and
Yeah.
we'll get our crack astrometry team on the job.
Yeah. It looked almost like Sirius, but it was too late in the night.
Well, no, early morning, Sirius would be probably there. Yeah.
Southern sky?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well,
then it could be.
Yeah, post the picture with the direction and the time.
Right.
And so one of these people will figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
But let's not discount aliens.
So where do I send it? Where do I send it to where I get this link? Same.
Yeah, the group's IO. Yeah.
Groups IO.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you.
20
Thank
different interpretations.
So wonderful. Thank you so much.
Okay. And anybody, if you've got any strange photos or whatever, then you're not sure what's there, then send them out, because we all like to analyze these things.
I'm gonna figure out. I had a.
Okay. Take care, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you again.
Good night. Have a good weekend, everyone.